Hey guys, welcome to Bolt from the Blue Tarot. My name is Sam. We're going to hop straight into a reading for you. My shirt says, "It's all gravy, baby," because it is. We've got a deck of storytelling cards for children. You know, ostensibly, I think this deck is to teach children to form narratives, but it's also to teach me some freewheeling intuition. Okay, guys. So in this first card, we have a young girl laughing so joyfully. She's surrounded by palm trees on this beautiful island. There's a volcano in the background. There's a bird and three butterflies, red, blue, and yellow. She's sort of dressed as like in old-timey sailor kind of uniform. I don't know. So the only thing we're going to use for divination today, I think, is this deck of children's flashcards and a book of Rumi poetry that a friend of mine gave me. And so I'm gonna flip through here intuitively and find a page. I'm keeping it off camera because of publisher stuff. I never know how that's gonna go down, but just bear with me. Fast forward if you like until I get to the poem. But I'm gonna be asking what we're after here. First half of the book. Just kind of flipping through until I get the green light here. I do this with my eyes closed. If you guys don't do this with your books, you definitely should. Left page, right page, right, left. Okay. So if you guys don't know, Rumi was a 13th century, 14th century Sufi mystic and poet. These poems are translated into English. They're very short. This one is titled in English, "For a While We Went To." It goes, "For a while we went to a teacher as a child. For a while we were happy among friends. Listen to our story, how it ends. We arrived as clouds and were swept away by winds." More poems? Okay. I'm finding myself a bit unprepared here. I guess I'm going to bookmark this and go to the next one. Earlier in the book, later. Let's see here. Okay. This one is called The World is Luscious Green. The world is luscious green, everywhere smiling gardens, manifesting the face of the beloved. In every path diamonds are, shining, showing the source in every direction, souls connecting with souls. Wow. If you guys have never read any of Rumi's poetry, it's Sufism is the mystic branch of Islam. So he writes about God, but I find no matter what your ideas about God are, it's beautiful. Like the way that he connects to the divine and to the divine in the world around him, in himself, and in other people. I'm going to read these one more time and then most likely take a minute to connect with them, unless do we want more poetry? More cards? No, okay, this is what they want me to do. So I'm going to do one more read through, and if that doesn't spark anything, I'm going to sit with it for a bit. For a while we went to a teacher as a child. For a while we were happy among friends. Listen to our story, how it ends. We arrived as clouds and were swept away by winds. The world is luscious green, everywhere smiling gardens, manifesting the face of the beloved. In every path diamonds are shining, showing the source. In every direction, souls connecting with souls. All right, guys, gonna sit with this. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so Rumi was a Sufi poet. He was a mystic. And this is quite a mystical message. I was given very little to grip onto with this. It's a little bit abstract, but the energy here for me is a little bit like this is what you make it. Like we can be given a world full of beautiful poetry and say like this is all there is, or what is there here for me to sink my teeth into? What's the point of all this? And there's a little bit of the divine sort of gesturing around and being like, do you not enjoy the beautiful poetry? We just thought that maybe if given the option between not appreciating it and appreciating it, we just thought you would appreciate it, like you used to when you were a child. That that childhood energy that the wisest old people return to, of ease, laughter, and joy, of understanding that you live in a beautiful, mystical world. With the first poem, there's something about for a while we went to a teacher as a child. For a while we were happy among friends. Listen to our story, how it ends. We arrived as clouds and were swept away by winds. There's something about the ephemeral nature of this life as this one human in this one place and time. With the world is luscious green. Sorry guys, this is like I'm having a hard time You come to a tarot video to hear some words that you can sink your teeth into. And the only words I could give for this energy is to redirect you back to silence. Do you know what I mean? This is so mystical. This is like the wisdom that only silence teaches. Silence and the beauty of what is, of nature, of the divine. The world is luscious green, everywhere smiling gardens, manifesting the face of the beloved. In every path diamonds are shining, showing the source. In every direction souls connecting with souls. You know, I was in a restaurant today, and I was watching two fast food workers making food and making each other smile. Just some little inside jokes or, you know, conversation between two people who most likely would not know each other if not for this job, right? In every direction, souls connecting with souls. No matter the circumstances that forced or that brought these two souls together, in every path, diamonds are shining, showing the source. It's like everywhere your life has taken you, you've been introduced to the divine in different guises, with different faces, from childhood onward. I don't know, there's just a very sacred, like, you are a child of the universe sort of energy, surrounded by children of the universe, that you are a fractal of divinity, observing and interacting with other divine fractals. When I was taking some time to read these poems and and having them land a bit deeper, I was hearing an Indian sitar raga in my head. And a raga is a musical mode, I want to say, within Indian classical music. And it's a theme that allows for improvisation. It's like a little bit of jazz within classical. It's a beautiful fractal. But it's like the theme is provided, and then on each iteration, it is improvised upon. And I realized, you know, a lot from that. I was being asked to improvise on this, that I may want to talk over the theme and explore it in different ways and rehash it. And there's a very real way in which this card could be pulled, these two poems could be read, and the fractal that is me could interpret it in so many different ways. And it can only be interpreted in those ways through me. It's just like this whirlpool kind of energy, this iteration, like same but different each time, an improvisation. And I've been thinking about this in terms of incarnation as well. I was walking through a labyrinth earlier today, which is it's outside of a Christian church, but lots of different faiths use the labyrinth as a form of meditation and spiritual exploration. I recommend walking a labyrinth if you can find one near you. It's not usually like a maze like that with the hedges and stuff. It's usually a path along the ground, and you follow the path, and it twists and turns and goes round and coils in on itself until you get to the center of the maze. And then I usually decide to walk back out the maze the same way I came in. And then almost invariably, once I'm out again, there was just enough, like I had just enough interesting thoughts, experiences on that first time through. I had just enough moments of serenity and divinity that, as long as it's not too cold or too hot, or I go again, like almost invariably. There has to be something put in place for me not to want to do the maze again. And then sometimes as I'm in it, as I'm coming out of it, I think, well, this is the last time. I should go home after this. But then I get out and it feels like maybe I'm just getting started with this and I should go in again. There's something here about the soul incarnating and the lessons we can learn, the particular and unique paths. And from the perspective of the soul, them all being what in every path diamonds are, shining, showing the source in every direction. There's something here about the soul enjoying the journey, every path revealing diamonds. It's a variation on a theme. Yes, you've been human before, but never quite like this. And you'll never be human like this, quite like this ever again. You know, with the butterflies in here, I think there's something about chaos. What looks to us like chaos, the flap of a butterfly's wings changing a timeline. There's something about like the people you were put in a classroom with as a child. Like I was listening to something recently about all of us exchanging codes with each other, energetic codes unbeknownst to us, that we that benefit us on our journeys somehow, right? Even very brief encounters like brushing up against someone's shoulder or a smile with a stranger. You know, and some of them, like a very early childhood friend might stick with you for a lifetime, you know, fundamentally inform who you are in this iteration, alter the raga that is your saga. Too much poetry. This energy is like never enough poetry. Unending, fractalizing poetry. Glittering and calling back throughout eternity. It's a very, I don't know why. I guess you know, a lot of tarot readings are about these solid archetypes, which you can give a firm narrative to. And what this is about is the interplay between a million, billion different fractalizing narratives all happening at once. It's like, I don't know, what is this? Fewer than 40 words, probably, and one card. But with this raga, like we can iterate forever. I'm getting very deeply pulled into this energy. I don't know, Spirit, I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. Do you want any more cards? Any more poems? That's it. And you know, this is part of the message too. It's like the feeling is, no, I mean, that's it. You could keep talking if you want to, right? You know, sometimes I feel tired as a soul, like on a soul level, I feel tired, I think. And I think this is probably going to be my last go around. Do you know what I mean? But there's also part of me that feels like there's so much beauty here. And even if I've had an experience 1,000 times, I've never had it quite like this. Not this flavor of it. Not with this person in this place in this time. And every step I take creates these glittering, ephemeral diamond paths. And when I'm realistic about it, I'll probably get out of this iteration of the labyrinth and I'll probably want to go again. All right, guys, love you lots. I'll see you in the next one.